Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a bill was introduced yesterday that wants to make abortion access easier for Kentuckians. And soon Perry County could be getting a new school as officials scout out locations.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6 a.m. on Thursday, February 1st. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Mace Michaels for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning to you, Olivia. We're looking at a mostly clear sky in most areas. Temperatures starting the day a touch cool, but not bad outside. Here in Wise with the clear skies, it is 30 degrees. As you look at temperatures across the rest of eastern Kentucky into Tennessee, Jacksboro, you're starting a little cooler in the mid-20s. We have upper 20s to low 30s over the majority of the rest of the area. As you look towards Pikeville, you're a smidge warmer there at 34. It's quiet on the radar, nothing to show here moisture-wise. Satellite shows cloud cover from yesterday, gradually passing here off to the northeast and moving away from us. A lot of sunshine will be moving into the area back to the west once we get the sun up, the dry air. Here's a look at the full forecast for today, like this one, from 30s this morning and much brighter skies this afternoon into the 50s. The week ahead looks warmer, at least the weekend and the following week. I'll have more on that on the way.
All right, Mace, thank you. A Kentucky lawmaker has filed 3 new bills to restore abortion access in the state. Lindsay Burke is filing what she's calling the North Star bill to restore abortion rights in Kentucky. A second bill would keep doctors and parents from getting sued for going out of state for care. Burke, alongside the ACLU, Planned Parenthood, and others, says the ban is hurting people.
Our trigger ban on abortion fails to recognize the many reasons that parents seek reproductive care, including abortion. The trigger ban is so heavy-handed that it has consequences that may have been unintentional, especially for those people who want to be parents but have had tragically complicated pregnancies.
Burke says she lost multiple pregnancies but had to go out of state to seek help. A third bill she's filing deals with getting mental health resources for those dealing with postpartum issues. Yesterday, Governor Beshear was in Lexington talking at the Winter Judge Executive Conference. Leaders from across the state are at the Griffin Gate Marriott. Governor Beshear says it's key for his administration to work alongside judge executives to focus on issues Kentucky families are dealing with.
When we focus on those things that matter most to people, that's when we get things done. That's where every county judge lives, that's where every magistrate and commissioner live, and that's where I'm focusing my attention.
The conference runs through today. The woman at the center of federal criminal allegations against a former Northeastern Kentucky Commonwealth's attorney testified in court yesterday. The Herald Leader says Misty Helton testified that she had sex with former Commonwealth's attorney Ronnie Goldie while facing court cases. Helton testified that she sent explicit photos and videos in return for help on several criminal cases. Several judges, an officer, and a public defender out of the 21st Judicial Court testified against Goldie. The trial is expected to continue through the week. In Laurel County, the London Police Department is asking for the public's help in finding a burglary suspect. The person is pictured on your screen is believed to have been involved in a burglary on East 4th Street. If you have any information, contact the London Police Department at 606-874-7004. Perry County School Board members are looking into locations they believe can best suit the new South Perry Elementary. The elementary school would consolidate Viper Elementary and R.W. Combs Elementary. Administrators have recently looked at Scuddy Branch as a potential location, but a final decision has not been made. Superintendent Kent Campbell says the school is needed.
It's a new facility, everything being energy efficient, brand new everything. So I mean that's just, a significant upgrade from the, previous 2 buildings that they're in right now.
Campbell says there is also no timeline for when a decision will be made or when the school will be built. He says the new school will house more than 600 students. About 70 independent pharmacies across Kentucky are going out of business. That's according to the Herald Leader. The executive director of the Kentucky Pharmacists Association says the problem lies at the feet of the pharmacy benefit managers. Garrett Weimer and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw talked with one independent pharmacist who says if the system is not fixed in a few years, he might have to close shop as well.
The pharmacy business model has been tough for several years.
Dr. Ben Mudd, the executive director of the Kentucky Pharmacist Association, says the main reason behind this goes back to pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. A PBM operates as the so-called middleman between the insurance company and the pharmacy. Dr. Mudd lays out the problem and says it's all about the pharmacy's inability to be reimbursed.
The PBM, or the middleman, continues to pay pharmacies less than they pay for the drug. They're paying pharmacies less than they bought the drug for. And now it's just become so rampant that there are so many underwater claims, or pharmacies are losing money.
We have to tell people, can't fill your prescription, can't get it because we're going to lose $100. And it's not unusual for us to lose $400 or $500 on a prescription. That's unbelievable.
Dr. Clarence Sullivan has owned the pharmacy shop on Southland Drive in Lexington for 27 years. Dr. Sullivan says any independently owned pharmacy is at risk of shutting down due to the way the PBM operates.
One of the problems is they set the fees that were paid. They take back fees that were paid.
On top of that, Dr. Sullivan has to deal with clawback fees, where the PBMs tell the local pharmacists they were paid too much for the medicine or they underperformed for the year.
This past year, the 2023 that just passed, $142,000 they took and clawed back.
Dr. Sullivan says he believes this aspect of the industry is
a broken, corrupt system.
With the way things are trending, Dr. Sullivan hopes his business can make it to a 28th year. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Sullivan says it will take legislation on the federal level to fix this issue. Dr. Mudd says when those independent pharmacy shops shut down in small towns, in some cases it could force those customers to drive a long distance to the next open pharmacy.
Enjoying the sunshine for us today, or at least we will be after it was so cloudy yesterday. Here in Whitesburg, we're looking at a 30-degree temperature, a little cloud cover hanging up, but for the most part, the day will be full of sunshine, and looking forward to it with warmer temperatures as well. As you wake up this morning, we're looking at temps in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees, so a little cool, but not in that bitter range like we were several weeks ago. This is a much warmer air mass, and we are trending on the warmer side today. You're as warm as 36 in Ashland to 25 in Jacksboro. Here as we look across eastern Kentucky and northern Tennessee. See on Pinpoint Doppler, it is dry, and it is going to stay dry for several days. Had a little cloud cover hanging up overnight. The clouds continue to move away from us, but look at back here to the west. It is dry, and will be at least sunny. No clouds right now. So as you head out the door, you need the jacket this morning, but just the light jacket for this afternoon as high temperatures jump into the 50s. We'll look at the full warming ahead here in a few minutes into the upcoming weekend.
Thank you, Mace, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. When we return, yesterday's social media CEOs were on blast as both parties came together to interrogate the companies.